This is what the green revolution looks like: clean, quiet, carbon-free. And this is what it's built on. Every EV you've ever seen, every solar panel, every wind turbine, none of it works without copper, and we are running out. Here's the brutal irony that no green energy company wants you to think about. The faster we go green, the faster we burn through the one metal that makes it possible. The International Energy Agency projects a copper shortfall of 10 million metric tons by 2035. That's not a small gap. That's enough to halt the entire global EV transition in its tracks. Before we get into the crisis, let's make sure you understand why copper matters. Because I promise, once you see it, you'll see it everywhere. The walls of your home are threaded with it. Your phone is full of it. The grid that powers your city runs on it. The hospital keeping your parents alive depends on it. Copper is the last copper on Earth's system of modern civilization. Without it, electricity doesn't flow. Water doesn't move through buildings. Machines don't run. Now factor in what we're building. 83 kilos of copper in every single electric vehicle, 5x more copper in an EV than a conventional gasoline car, 9,000 kilos of copper in a single offshore wind turbine, 5.5 tons of copper per megawatt of solar power capacity. And we're not talking about building a few of these. To hit net zero by 2050, the world needs to install more renewable energy in the next 25 years than it has built in the entire history of human civilization. The IEA's net zero by 2050 scenario requires doubling global copper supply by 2040. There is currently no plan, anywhere, that shows how to do that. So let's talk about where copper comes from, and why getting more of it is a lot harder than it sounds. This is Chuquicamata in Chile, one of the largest copper mines on Earth. It's been producing copper since 1910. It is 850 meters deep, 4 kilometers wide, visible from space, and it is running out. Here's the thing about copper mining that most people don't realize. The easy deposits are gone. The copper that's left is deeper, lower grade, and harder to extract than anything we've mined before. 0.6% average copper ore grade today was 2% plus a century ago. 3x more rock must be processed for the same amount of copper versus 1900. 16 to 17 years average time to open a new copper mine from discovery. Top 3 countries, Chile, Peru, Congo, supply 50% plus of global copper. That last one is terrifying for a different reason. Chile sits on a politically fragile fault line. Peru has had 20 prime ministers in 10 years. The Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the most conflict-prone nations on Earth. The entire green energy transition, every EV factory, every solar farm, every offshore wind project, is one political crisis away from a supply catastrophe. And here's the kicker. Even if you find a new copper deposit tomorrow, you are legally, environmentally, and logistically 16 years away from producing anything. The copper crisis isn't coming. It's already baked in. Now here's the part of this story that genuinely messes with your head. The solution to climate change requires destroying the planet to build it. Think about what a copper mine looks like. We're talking about blasting apart entire mountains, moving billions of tons of rock, using millions of gallons of water in some of the most water-scarce regions on Earth, generating toxic tailings ponds visible from satellites. The Atacama Desert in Chile, one of the driest places on Earth, is where we pull out lithium and copper for the green revolution. The mining operations there consume water at a rate that is literally drying out indigenous communities. In 2023, communities in Chile's Atacama region began rationing drinking water, not because of drought, but because copper and lithium mining had drained the aquifers. So we're poisoning water supplies to build solar panels that save water. We're destroying ecosystems to stop ecosystems from being destroyed. We're burning diesel to mine the metals that will replace diesel. It's not hypocrisy. It's a genuine engineering dilemma with no clean answer. And almost nobody in the green energy conversation wants to talk about it. But let's get out of the spreadsheets for a second. Because behind every copper wire, every EV battery, every wind turbine, there are people. Meet Rosa. She's 41. Third-generation miner in Calama, Chile. Her grandfather helped build the Chuquicamata mine. Her daughter just got a job at a Tesla factory in Germany.
My daughter drives an EV. She's proud of it. She doesn't know the copper in her car came from a mine like this one. I don't blame her, but I think about it every day.
Rosa earns about $28,000 a year. The copper she helps extract is worth approximately $2.3 billion annually from her mine alone. And here's what Rosa knows that most Tesla owners don't. As ore grades decline and mines go deeper, her job gets harder every year. More blasting, more processing, more risk for the same amount of copper.
They say the mine has 20 more years. My mother said that 20 years ago. I don't know what to believe. I just know we keep going deeper, and it keeps getting harder.
Okay, you've heard the problem. Let's talk about what people are actually trying to do. There are 4 possible answers to the copper crisis. Each one has a catch. Answer 1, mine more. There are untapped deposits in places like Ecuador, the Philippines, and the deep Arctic. The catch? Environmental destruction, political resistance, and that 16-year timeline. We don't have 16 years to wait. Answer 2, recycle more. Copper is 100% recyclable without loss of quality. Right now, we recycle about 35% of it. If we hit 70%, we close a significant chunk of the gap. The catch? You need massive investment in recycling infrastructure, and someone has to pay for it. Answer 3, engineer around it. Aluminum conducts electricity too, just not as well. Some researchers are working on copper-free EV motors using alternative magnet designs. The catch? These technologies are years, maybe decades, from being commercially viable. Answer 4, deep sea mining. The ocean floor is covered in polymetallic nodules, rocks packed with copper, cobalt, and nickel. We've barely touched them. The Clarion-Clipperton Zone in the Pacific contains an estimated 340 million metric tons of these nodules. That's potentially more copper than every landmine combined. But we have almost no idea what mining it would do to deep-sea ecosystems. Every solution exists. None of them are clean. None of them are fast enough. And we need all of them simultaneously. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The green energy transition is real. It's necessary. It's happening. But it is not free. It has costs that are being paid right now. In Chilean deserts, in Congolese riverbeds, in Arctic tundra, we haven't even touched yet. The people paying those costs are not the people buying EVs. They're people like Rosa. People whose names will never be on a press release. People whose mountains are being hollowed out to charge our phones.
If people knew where this copper came from, what it took, I think they'd treat it differently. I hope they would.
Every EV is a miracle of engineering. It's also a mountain, a water source, and a community that no longer exists. The last copper on Earth isn't here yet, but the way we're going, it's not as far away as we'd like to think. If this changed how you think about green energy, share it. Seriously, this is the conversation we need to be having. Next week, the sand crisis. Why we're running out of the most abundant thing on Earth. Subscribe so you don't miss it.